NTX Production.
Program.
I wanted her, she don't want me, ooh. Now she want me, I don't want her, ooh. All of my phone can't stand her, ooh. If it ain't money, don't call me, ooh. Big, big cheeks, big.
Dear builders, we know that right now, you're fueled by a dream. You're smart, fast, working on 8 things at once. On that next big app, that's going to shape the future. But at DigitalOcean, we know that building, deploying, and managing your apps takes a lot more than just treading water. It especially when it comes to scaling. That's why we had to build App Platform, a fully managed solution that will help to get your app to market faster. We started with simplicity. What if deploying apps could be fun and fast, where you could deploy code from Git repos in just a few clicks? Not only
brown guilty eyes and little white lies. Yeah, I played dumb, but I always knew. You talked to her, maybe did even worse. I kept quiet so I could keep you. Ain't it funny how you ran a heart the second that we called it quits? Ain't it funny how you said you were friends, now sure as hell don't look like it. You'll be free, and I know that you'll never be sorry. The way I wants to shut me down, show her off like she's a new trophy. And I know if you're true, there's no damn way that you fall in love with someone that quickly. Ain't it funny? All the twisted games, all the questions you used to avoid. Ain't it funny? Remember I brought her up and you told me I was paranoid. Betray me, I know that you'll never feel sorry. The way I heard, yeah, you talked to her. We were together, loved you in your words. That didn't matter, it took you to me. Go off and date her, yes, you didn't cheat. You're still a traitor. God, I wish you hadn't got this through before I went and fell in love with you. When she's sleeping in the bed we made, don't you dare forget about the name. Betray me, 'cause I know that you'll never feel sorry. The way I do, yeah, you talked to her. We were together, you gave me your word. That didn't matter, it took you to me. Go off and date her, yes, you didn't cheat. You're still a traitor. God, I wish you hadn't got this through before I went and fell in love with you. Call me back when you get this. But when you've got a minute, we really need to talk. Wait, you know what? Maybe just forget it. 'Cause by the time we get there, your number might be blocked. My God, this is what you have. No way, what kind of a girl you don't start for just want what you can't have.
Oh my God. It's Alex. Oh my God. It's Alex.
Why you always in the mood? Fuck around like I'm brand new. I ain't tryna tell you what to do, but try to play cool. Baby, I ain't playing by your rules. Everything look better with a view. Why you always in the mood? Fuck around like I'm brand new. I ain't tryna tell you what to do, but try to play cool. Baby, I ain't playing by your rules. Everything look better with a view. Why you always in the mood? Fuck around like I'm brand new. I ain't tryna tell you what to do, but try to play cool. Baby, I ain't playing by your rules. Everything look better with a view. Why you always in the mood? Fuck around like I'm brand new. I ain't tryna tell you what to do, but try to play cool. Baby, I ain't playing by your rules. Everything look better with a view. Why you always get attached? When I start to feel I'm attached, somehow I was in a feeling bad. Baby, I am not your dad. It's not all you want from me. I just want your company. Girl, it's obvious, elephant in the room. We're a part of it, don't act so confused. And you love starting it, now I'm in the mood. Now we arguing in my bedroom. We play games of love to avoid the depression. We've been here before, and I won't be a victim. Why you always in the mood? Fuck around like I'm brand new. I ain't tryna tell you what to do, but try to play cool. Baby, I ain't playing by your rules. fat gang, sipping 40s. You keep playing another day with your shorty. Mismatch face, that was way before you know me. Got a lot of love, but you better save it for me. We play games of love to avoid the depression. We've been here before, and I won't be a victim. Why you always in the mood? Fuck around like I'm brand new. I ain't tryna tell you what to do, but try to play cool. Baby, I ain't playing by your rules. Everything look better with a view. Why you always in the mood? Fuck around like I'm brand new. I ain't tryna tell you what to do. Why you always in the mood? Fuck around like I'm brand new. I ain't tryna tell you what to do, but try to play it cool. Baby, I ain't playing by your rules. Everything look better with a view. Why you always in the mood? Fuck around like I'm brand new. I ain't tryna tell you what to do, but try to play it cool. Baby, I ain't playing by your rules. Everything look better with a view. Why you always in the mood? Fuck around like I'm brand new. I ain't tryna tell you what to do, but try to play it cool. Baby, I ain't playing by your rules. Everything look better with a view. Why you always in the mood? Fuck around like I'm brand new. I ain't tryna tell you what to do, but try to play it cool. Baby, I ain't playing by your rules. Everything look better with a view. Why you always get attached? When I start to feel I'm unattached, somehow I was in a feeling bad. Baby, I am not your dad. It's not all you want from me. I just want your company. Girl, it's obvious, elephant in the room, and we're part of it, don't act so confused. And you love starting it, now I'm in the mood. Now we arguing in my bedroom. We play games of love to avoid the depression. We've been here before, and I won't be a victim. Why you always in the mood? Fuck around like I'm brand new. I ain't tryna tell you what to do, but try to play it cool. Baby, I ain't playing by your rules. Everything look better with a view. Why you always in the mood? Fuck around like I'm brand new. I ain't tryna tell you what to do, but try to play it cool. Baby, I ain't playing by your rules. Everything look better with a view. So I ain't tryna pay your love on the regular. When you could be blowing up, just I'ma show you love. I will never let a shorty go and set me up. Only thing I need to know is if you wet enough. I'm talking slick back, kick back, gang sipping 40s. You keep playing another day with your shorty. Mismatch bitch, that was way before you know me. Got a lot of love, but you better save it for me. We play games of love to avoid the depression. We've been here before, and I won't be a victim. Why you always in the mood? Fuck around like I'm brand new. I ain't tryna tell you what to do, but try to play it cool. Baby, I ain't playing by your rules. Everything look better with a view. Why you always in the mood? Fuck around like I'm brand new. I ain't tryna tell you what to do, but try to play it cool. Baby, I ain't playing by your rules. Everything look better with a view. Yeah.
I need somebody who can love me at my worst. No, I'm not perfect, but I hope you see my worth. 'Cause it's only you, nobody knew.
Emak itu baru bisa. Dia langsung pakein ke beliau aja. Excuse me kan gitu.
Oh, okay. No, bahasa Sunda sedikit. Tapi sudah poho everything.
Not really.
My neighbor in Karimun Jawa only speak Javanese, but I only know kid words. Yeah. Yeah.
Kalau mau pakai yang lain bisa sih, tanda aja. Lampu di Sarojana.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Oh my God. I think it would be very different if they're in this room. I'd be a little scared. Yeah, of course, yeah.
You can use this pointer when you want to move around and then run the point.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Pointer. Zoom. Share screen.
So big.
Sampai sih rendanan. Oh, ini siapapun yang
Everyone, this is Christy. Christy, this is everyone. They have students of IT from MJ. Okay, so everyone today we going to learn English. So please don't be shy if you want to ask something.
belum ganti nama lagi gua.
Don't be
Mana ini?
speak English, okay? So, yeah, I guess Christy, class is yours.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Hi, so nice to meet you all. Selamat pagi. Oh wait, this one is not working? Okay, well, while we're trying to figure that out, I'll just introduce myself. So my name is Christy Turner. I'm from Canada. I just arrived back in Indonesia last week. So normally I am living in Indonesia, but I'm home and visiting my family for the last 6 months. So I just arrived back in Indonesia. I had to do the quarantine in Jakarta, and I'm so happy to not be in a hotel right now. I can't tell you. So tired of hotels. So my experience, oh yeah, there. This one? So I've been living in Indonesia almost 2 years. And normally I am living in Karimun Jawa. So I love Karimun Jawa, of course. It's so beautiful there. And before living in Indonesia, I was living in China. I lived in Shanghai for 2 years, where I worked at international school, teaching English and teaching PAUD, teaching kindergarten. So kind of teaching English, but they're babies, so also just helping them survive, really. And before that, I studied psychology in university in Canada. During my time in high school, I went on like an international exchange to France, and I lived in France for 3 months. So through my travels, I've had the opportunity to learn some languages. I've learned French and Mandarin, and now I'm studying Indonesian. So I know the experience of learning a language, and I know the experience of feeling a little bit stupid while learning a language, right? So thank you. So I've been teaching for 10 years, teaching English for at least 6 years. At the moment, I'm teaching English mostly online and really enjoying when I can do some classes in person because, of course, it's a totally different experience. And as far as IT goes, I've recently launched my own online education company. So it's brand new, just starting. It's called Seed Learning Garden. And yeah, Seed Learning Garden. And the objective with my company is starting with children, and we will grow to more and more ages, but to provide online learning materials for families to help with learning. So this has been interesting for me because originally I had the concept I want to only do English second language material, help children learn English. I came up with the idea when I was in Canada, and I noticed in Canada, so many of my neighbors are immigrants, people from different countries. So I realized if I'm only teaching English second language, I'm not reaching all my neighbors. I do have a lot of immigrant neighbors, but I also have a lot of Canadian neighbors. So the question of language online has been very interesting to me. How can I reach people in different languages in different ways? So this has been something I've really been working on, how to make my material available in English, but easy to follow for people who are English second language, and how to communicate with them online. So I'll speak a little bit more about that in my presentation. So before we continue, maybe because I've taught some of these university classes before, I'll just speak about a couple topics that are commonly asked questions about Canada, yeah? So right now it's winter in Canada. The snow is like up to here, seriously. Minus 26 degrees Celsius. Yeah, so why I'm sweating so much, because this is very new for me to be in the hot weather. And Canada is so different from Indonesia in so many ways. But what I love so much about Canada is how all these cultures are together in one area. And so there's so many opportunities to speak English in different ways. So many opportunities to speak with non-native speakers and native speakers. So this has really shaped my understanding of language, because if you are in the city in Toronto, where I come from, if you are taking the city bus, I will hear French, Chinese, Farsi, maybe some people speaking Patois, which is the Jamaican dialect of English. I'll hear so many different things all in one place. So I really appreciate that. And I love people trying to learn English, but I also think it's so important to keep your own culture and your own language. So English around the world. So I was doing some research for this lecture, and I was listening to a talk from Marina Pascal, and she said every native speaker, for every one native speaker in the world, there are 5 non-native English speakers. So it's 1 in 6 people in the world are a non-native English speaker. So if in this moment, we just take a little shot of all the English conversations happening in the world, 96% of them will be between non-native speakers. So what that means is most of the English spoken in the world is not between native speakers, it's with non-native speakers. What does that mean? It means that English is no longer my language, it's your language, it's the world's language. So when we're learning a language, we can have this pressure. Oh, I want to speak like a native. Oh, I want to be fluent. Well, what does that mean to speak like a native, right? Because this is now a language of the world. So as we do this lecture, I will continue to come back to the point, you don't have to learn perfect English. You don't have to have flawless accents, perfect grammar. You just need to learn how to communicate your point. So this graph shows the % of languages spoken around the world and online. So I found this very interesting because, of course, China has its own internet, and most people in the world are in China. So of course it counts, Mandarin Chinese counts for a lot of the spoken language in the world and online, but still English is more. So I'm sure so many of you, well, maybe you can show me your hands if you like online gaming. Online gaming? No one in here? Yeah, yeah. And when you're doing online gaming, are you speaking English? Yeah. And who has like TikTok or Instagram or Snapchat? Yeah. And how many of the memes you see are in English? So many, and so many jokes in English, right? Right. So it's the language of the internet also. So I find that very interesting. You see, Indonesian is, I think, the 4th most populated country in the world. So there's a lot of Indonesians online. It's the 10th most used language in the world, but it's the 6th most used on the internet. So you're speaking a lot of English online, but your language continues online as well. And I think that's important. I think it's important to continue to make content in your own language, even while you communicate in English. So English is a tool, but it's not the whole story. So I think Uncle Roger, maybe some of you know Uncle Roger. Yeah, he's a really good example of English being what you make it. Yeah, his English is so funny. He's a Malaysian guy living in the UK, so his English is good. He makes up words, he talks so funny, but you always understand what he's trying to say. And that again is the point. It's not about sounding perfect, using big words, trying to be sophisticated and fancy. It's about making it relatable and understandable to a wide audience. So even though Uncle Roger is a Malaysian guy, he makes all these jokes in English. And even though you are Indonesian students, you understand them and you like them, right? So again, that's the point. His English isn't perfect. It doesn't need to be. It's about just being able to communicate with the people around you. Okay, so speaking English with someone in person, you have the opportunity to look at their face, yeah, understand the feeling behind what they're saying, or if you don't understand them, they can do some body movements, right? So for example, I was in a taxi going from the train station to my hotel in Jogja. And saya bicara bahasa Indonesia, tapi sedikit ya, masih tidak tahu banyak kata-kata. So many words I still don't know. So I meet the taxi driver, he doesn't speak English. And okay, Pak, ya, saya mau ke sana. I show him hotel ini. Okay, and then he starts speaking to me really fast in Indonesian. And I'm like, huh? Okay, so he says something again. And I go, oh, yeah, okay. And clearly I didn't understand him because he like looked at me like he's waiting for something. Okay, Pak, lagi ya. He says it again. Okay, something, telepon something. Okay, something about my phone. Oh, he wants the directions on Google Maps, maybe. So I show him Google Maps and he's like, no. So finally he pulls over and he looks at me and he like points at my phone. I understand maybe 4 of the words he's saying. He goes like this. He says, hotel, hotel. Oh, he wants me to call the hotel. Oh, okay. Finally, yeah. So I call the hotel. They have this conversation. And he's on the phone, and now there's no pressure on me, right? I'm just listening. I understood every word he said on the phone with the guy at the hotel. Yeah, he's saying, yeah, pa ada, well, I forget now. Tamu, yes? Tamu. Ada tamu, yeah, mau ke sana. He's asking for directions. Yeah, dia boleh ya, sendiri ya. Okay, he's definitely, yeah, my name's Christy, pa. But before, when he was asking me something, I felt all this pressure to understand every word, pressure to be understood when I talk to him, kind of a little bit, want to seem a little bit cool. Yeah, I can speak Indonesian, so I'm kind of pretending like I understand him, but I don't. But as soon as the pressure is taken off of me, I can relax. And when I relax, I feel more confident, and now I understand. So the problem is when you're online, you kind of, yeah, on Zoom, you can see each other, but in IT, it won't always be a Zoom call, right? Sometimes it will be typing, sometimes it will just be voice call. So how can you still be understood? And how can you understand? So these are the important things I wanted to discuss when talking about English in IT. And by the way, please, if I'm speaking too fast, just put your hands up and I'll slow down. The importance of humility in conversation. So in case you don't know this word humility, it comes from the word humble, to be humble. So I can walk into a room and say, yeah, saya bicara bahasa Indonesia ya, sudah 2 tahun di Indonesia, Yeah. But then they'll be like, oh yeah, and blah, 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 really fast to me. And suddenly I have to pretend I understand what they're saying. But if you can come in humble and say, yeah, masih belajar ya, masih banyak kata-kata, I don't know. Excuse me, I'm learning English. I still don't know a lot of words, but I'm trying. People can adjust how they speak to you. People can realize you're learning. And people are usually grateful for that honesty. So this is my company, Seed Learning Garden. And this has been kind of the main point for me that I'm still trying to figure out, because it's a new company, is how can I relate to people who arrive on my website in English? How can they realize what I'm trying to accomplish when they read the text on my website? Okay, I can get translation apps that will translate everything. That's a good step. But I have to pay for that, yeah? And new company, no money. So I have to choose my words so carefully. I have to choose words people will understand. And I have to make my point very simple. Because I can write 100 pages to make a point, or I can write 2 pages to make the same point. So with my company, this is something I keep thinking about, is communicating online. How can I make the point simple, quick, and easy for people? So my brother works in tech also. He works for an Indian company called Fulfilled. And I have so much experience now speaking with non-native speakers. And I used to work at a kindergarten. And my boyfriend is like the slowest person in the world. So I have a lot of patience. I'm super patient. I can take my time. But my brother, zero, oh my God, zero patience. So I'm asking him, so tell me about your experience speaking with non-native speakers in IT, because this was his work. He worked remote. All his conversations are online with people in India. Articulate tech issues with brevity. So he said the biggest problem is he would be speaking with someone about an issue they're having with their product. And he said it would just take forever to say one simple thing. So I think some of the best advice I will give you today for your communication in IT in English is find the quickest way to say one thing. You don't need to say, yeah, you know, when you're learning English, maybe you learn a lot of formalities, right? You can say, hello, good morning. My name is Christy Turner. I have a question for you, yeah? So sorry, I have just this one thing to say. And yeah, sorry, yeah? I just want to tell you that I'm having this issue. Well, actually, you know, it's like already a minute of nothing. Or you can say, maybe your English level is a little bit low. And you can just say, oh, I have no idea what, I really still don't understand what my brother's job is. But you could just say something simple like, this program not work. I tried this, still no good. Do what? Okay, that English is not fantastic, but I understand what you're saying. And we didn't waste each other's time with all this, excuse me, I'm sorry, all the formality. So this is this point that it took, my brother was saying, a long time to make a simple question. So keep your questions more simple and short. Another difficult thing is keeping up with fast conversation. So this is one of the more difficult problems, keeping up with fast conversation. So a good way to do this, honestly, I recommend, is listening to more English. Even just something like Uncle Roger or YouTube videos, just listen to it, yeah? Watch English movies, just even if you don't understand, just to hear the rapid pace because you can get a little more used to the back and forth. And a lack of nuance and understanding. So this means, so this is, my boyfriend is Indonesian, so English is his second language. And we mostly speak English together. And I always say to him, oh, if you had any idea how funny I really am, you would marry me tomorrow. Because I say a lot of jokes he doesn't understand because his English is good. He's never been to my country. So there's so many cracks. So it depends on your project. If you have an IT project with a client in Europe, yeah, maybe it's important to just learn a little bit about their culture, a little bit about their jokes, a little bit about their shorthand, so that not everything will go over your head. So nuance in conversation is being able to understand what's happening in between the lines. So a lot of English people will use sarcasm, but a lot of cultures, there is no room for sarcasm. You cannot be expected to understand every culture's sense of humor, jokes, everything like that. But this is where humility comes back, and you can say, I'm sorry, I don't quite understand what you mean. Nothing wrong with telling someone you don't understand what they mean. I was in, where was I? Thailand some years ago. And my friend and I were looking for our hotel. And we were young and we didn't have very much money. So we didn't have like data on our cell phone for directions. So we had to keep asking people for directions. Thai people in Bangkok. Excuse me, do you know where this is? And they go, oh yeah, this one over there. Oh, okay. So we go over there and they're like nodding thumbs up and we're looking, okay, it's not here. Okay, but that's just fun. Hey, do you know where this one? Oh yeah, this one you get on train. Yeah, 5 minutes, this way, that way, blah, blah, blah. Okay, do that. Okay, still not there. And my friend and I just look at each other and we say, why do these people keep pretending they speak English? Why do they keep pretending they understand where we're going? Why can't they just say like, I'm sorry, I don't understand. And I remember that all the time, all the time. So when I lived in China, my Mandarin was okay. And sometimes other people, Chinese people even, would come up to me in my neighborhood and ask for directions. And one time I caught myself faking, just like those people in Bangkok did. They go, 这是在哪里呀? Where is this? I'm like, oh yeah. And I start like spewing out like the few random Mandarin words I know. And I could tell they're looking at me like, why did I ask a foreigner directions? So this is that same point. Just tell people you don't know. Tell them to go slower. Tell them you don't understand. So what can you do to improve your communication? One thing I've started to do with my students especially is check to make sure you understand what they're saying. So maybe someone will ask me a question, and so I'll say it back to them in more simple language. So if someone says in their accent of a foreign country, they ask me a question about, yeah, Christy, I'm reading this book and I want to know, what do you think about the main character and their best friend? But they say it in different English, so it comes up more like, yeah, Christy, this book, yeah, with the friends, and how about them? So then I have a lot of experience speaking with people in different language. I'll say, I think this is what you meant. You want to know about the two characters in the book and their friendship? And they go, yeah, that's right. And this is something my brother agreed. He said he wishes that the people he worked with would check to make sure they understood something, right? So this goes both ways. If a native speaker is talking to you, Or if a non-native speaker is talking to you, you will probably in IT have clients from around the world and you will use English together. So you are both speaking a second language. So you should both always be checking to make sure you understand what you're trying to say, because there are 100 different ways to say the same thing. And to tolerate ambiguity. So you can understand, it's funny, I was having this conversation with my boyfriend last night. I said, sometimes you speak Indonesian and I know exactly what you mean, but I only understood like 30% of your words. And other times I don't understand anything. But this is the point, yeah? If you're talking with someone, native, not native, and they say a word you don't know, and suddenly you go inside your head and you're thinking, okay, this word, I've heard it before. What does it mean? Checking. Oh yeah, it means angry. And then, okay, you're out of your head, back in the conversation, and your conversation partner is a mile away from you. They kept talking while you were trying to figure out that one word. But if you let the word go and you continue to follow the conversation, maybe there will be enough clues where you can understand exactly what they mean, even though you didn't understand every word. And then, of course, learning industry slang. So yeah, there's a really big difference, yeah, between spoken Indonesian and written Indonesian and internet Indonesian. So sometimes my Indonesian friends will text me and I have no idea what they said because it's all short form. It's all slang. It's like 3 consonants, no vowels. I have no idea what they're doing, right? And when you're online, maybe this happens with you, with people with English. They'll use some short form words. Okay, most people know LOL, yeah? But like HBU, well, everyone knows OTW, but HBU, IDK, DKM, WTF, all of these ones, right? So it helps to learn some of these slangs, especially relating to your industry. I don't know that much about IT, but I know once I started my company, I had to learn a whole new vocabulary in English. So pay attention to your industry. Just do a little bit of reading, check other people's websites, learn the slang. If there's something that keeps coming up, a word you see again and again, and you don't know what it means, look it up. This has been a key thing for me in learning Indonesian, is paying attention to words that come again and again. Langsung. It took me forever to learn langsung. I kept hearing it. I'm like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Finally, I just asked someone and I looked it up and now I know and I can use it in a sentence. And again, this point, you don't need to try to sound smart because you can be using a lot of big words trying to sound smart and the person will completely miss the point. Just try to get your point across. Simple words is fine, right? In English, we have this expression, keep it simple, stupid. That's the main point. It's okay if you feel, I know for sure when I speak Indonesian, I probably sound so dumb most of the time. Like for sure, I sound so dumb. But people understand me. They know what I need. They know what I want. And in Chinese, are you kidding? I probably sounded like a 4-year-old when I spoke Chinese. In fact, I sounded worse than a 4-year-old. I taught 4-year-olds. They could speak way better Chinese than me. But I could get my point across. So where do you start? Where do you start with language learning? Start with words you already know and start using them. So simple nouns, pronouns, verbs, and adjectives. Okay, so pronouns, I, she, he, they. Okay, nouns, computer, desk, chair, verbs, grab, sit, walk. Okay, that's how many words? 10 or something? It's not very many words. Adjectives, quickly, slowly. Okay, so that's maybe 10 words. So then you can start to put them together like a baby would. I grab computer. I sit fast. I walk slow, yeah? Okay, you just said like 3 sentences. Yeah, maybe you sound a little bit like a baby, but that's better than not saying anything and not getting your point across. So yeah, I know Indonesia, you can see English words so many places, like on the menu. Yeah. If you have a menu with English words and you don't know one of those words, take a picture of it on your phone, look it up later. And then next time you see it on the menu, if you still don't know it, look it up again, right? And not just look up, not just remember, but make associations with words. So if you see the word chicken on the menu, so it's ayam geprek, my favorite, my favorite. Yeah, you see ayam geprek, and then in English beneath, you see spicy chicken, right? And then the charge is like 60,000 rupiah because of the English, right? Okay, spicy chicken. You don't know the word chicken maybe, yeah? So you look it up, okay, chicken, ayam, yeah, okay. You go to another restaurant another time, you see the word again, you forget. Okay, so here's what a lot of linguists suggest you do. You take the word chicken, right? So for me, I find the word ayam when I'm learning Indonesian. And then I think about what a chicken is. Oh, I hate chicken. Actually, I'm vegetarian, but I eat chicken just because I don't think they deserve to live. They're so dumb. So I think chicken, okay, I don't like chickens. Oh, I hate the sound they make, the way they walk. Oh, I don't like chickens. So I've added more senses to it, right? I've added the sound, my feeling of real hate for chicken, what they look like, what they smell like. Now I see the word I am and I'm like, oh yeah, I am, I know that one. So it's not just memorizing words, it's taking the word into your soul, yeah? And making it a memory and not just a word, making it a part of you and not just a word. Of course, follow body language, facial expressions will always help. If you are talking with a client and you don't understand them, then maybe it's a voice call or texting. Maybe suggest it's a Zoom call so you can see each other. That can really help, just the opportunity to look at each other. And of course, have fun with it. It's not, when I first started learning Indonesian, I was so shy. If I wanted to go buy fruit at the market in Karimun Jawa, oh, I was so scared. Pak Bua is always asking if I want to marry him. It's like old guy selling fruit. I'm always so shy. I don't know what to say to him. I don't know how to ask for fruit. I don't know how to tell him I don't want to marry him. But then I started to get more confident and I started to make more jokes, even though they were wrong jokes and I probably sounded stupid. I was having fun. So now when I go there, I'm fearless. I don't have a problem now because learning a language should be fun. If it's work, you're doing something wrong. Are there any questions so far? I don't know if you want to save questions for the end or. So far, so good. Great. Okay, so learning languages is like building a muscle, yeah? So actually, your face is I don't know, something like 42 muscles in your face. So this is a story from when I was a kid. I was taking piano lessons. And I would learn a song, yeah? And I would go home and I would practice the song, you know? And I kept making a mistake in the song. You know, da da da, it should be da da da. But I didn't know because I'm practicing at home. Next week I go to my teacher, I'm playing the song for him. I do the mistake again, da da da. Okay, he says, no, 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 not like that. It's da da da. Okay, okay. So playing again, make my same mistake. Same mistake. He said, why do you keep making the same mistake? It's like, I don't know. I guess it's because I learned it wrong. And he said, that's right. Your muscles remember to do it the wrong way. You have to train your muscles to do it the right way. So maybe some of you, even for something like online gaming, yeah, your hands have like, your hand knows exactly where to go for the button, right? You know, you don't have to look, you know where it is. Or on your phone, texting, yeah, you know where everything is. So suddenly you get a new phone. It's like going from, I don't know, iPhone. This is going to make me sound old, but like iPhone to BlackBerry or something like that, right? Or PlayStation to Xbox, maybe. I don't know that much about gaming. New controller, new phone, new buttons. Ah, okay, where is it? You have to learn again, right? So new language, you have to learn the sounds in your mouth, how it feels, the muscles, the same thing. So there's an arc to how you learn languages. Okay, so I'm starting to study Indonesian. Okay, I'm getting better. Okay, now I'm in a taxi. I can tell someone where I want to go. I'm shopping for clothes. I know what to ask for. I'm at the restaurant. I can order. Okay, my Indonesian is getting pretty good. I'm going to start taking lessons so I can get even better. I start taking lessons. My teacher's like, yeah, that's not how you say that. Yeah, that's not how you make a sentence. Yeah, no, right? So then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, my Indonesian sucks. I'm getting worse. I forget how to make the sentence. I don't remember this word. And then you're down here for a while, feeling stupid, feeling like, what's the point? It's getting worse. But then you start to retrain your muscles, learn again, and getting better. So this is really the classic standard process. I have so many students who are almost fluent in English, and they feel like they're getting worse because they're almost at the next level, and they have to unlearn. They have to forget what they knew and learn again. So it really is like this muscle training where you're learning and unlearning, getting better, getting worse. It's not just this way, yeah? So accept that it will change, yeah? And like in exercise, it hurts at first. So new year, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to work out every day. Okay, so I go to the gym. I do some, I don't know what do people do at the gym, push-ups. And I do so many push-ups, and then after like 2 days, I feel like my arms are going to fall off, right? That's why I don't go to the gym. But same with learning English, yeah, or any other language. It hurts at first because you feel like you're dropping it. You feel like you're doing it wrong. You just have to push through that pain and that fear at the beginning of learning a language, and it will get better. And then again, you will lose the muscle if you don't practice. So I used to speak fluent French. Yeah. I forget already. J'ai habité en France pour 3 mois. I lived in France for 3 months. I learned it all through school. I don't use French anymore because I'm in different countries, no French. I forget almost everything. So I can say I speak French, but like, do I? If I went back to France though, maybe I would pick it up really quickly again. So we have this expression, use it or lose it. So you can say you speak English, but have you been speaking English lately? Right? I could go to school every day and study a language, but maybe I learn more just from gaming online, texting someone in English, whatever. Okay. So my language journey. So this is kind of speaking about your motivation to learn a language. So this was where I lived when I was in France, not this house, but this area. And I studied French. I was 16 years old. In Canada, we have two languages, English and French. So I had been studying French for maybe 10 years at this point in school, every day, 10 years. And then I went to France and I was so shy to speak French. So shy. So for the first, I don't know, month, I'm just listening all the time. Okay, now suddenly 1 month, I understand a lot of what people are saying, but I still can't speak it. Yeah, I was a little bit naughty when I was younger, so I didn't really want to go to school. So I would leave in the afternoon to go for lunch or to go shopping with my friends or something, right? So I'm at the restaurant, I want to order something to drink, but I don't speak French. So now suddenly I have to, if I want to make my point, I have to speak the language. Yeah. So that's where it started for me with French, was just being alone, skipping school, which, you know, don't skip school, but it's what I did. And just speaking French so that I can learn the language and get the things I want to get. And then when I moved to China, the way I learned the language in Chinese was same thing. I needed to take a taxi, but they don't understand me, right? So I just hand them a piece of paper with the address on it. And I kept doing that. And I didn't learn Chinese that way. I learned it from when I started to actually ask people how to say things. Yeah. And then Indonesian. When I first moved here, it was February 2020. Okay. So after 1 month, suddenly coronavirus. So now I'm like alone all the time, not speaking to anyone, not learning the language at all, because I'm just on my phone in English all day, every day. I would like try to order Gojek and I would have to give the phone to my boyfriend because I'm like, I have no idea what this says. And it's very lonely this way, yeah? And then finally, when we are able to move back to Karimunjawa, I need to speak the language because I'm back in society. I'm not just alone all day. And I learned so much more quickly. So the point is, you have to speak the language. You have to actually say the words. You can't just be, yeah, I use Duolingo and it helps me. If I'm only doing that, then I'm not speaking. So I'm not practicing. I'm not getting the muscle memory. So you have to do that. You have to actually speak the language and you have to find your motivation. So for me, my motivation is almost always shopping, restaurants, taxi. That's the order. I want to buy clothes. I want to order food. And I want to go where I want to go by myself because I'm pretty independent. That's why I learn languages. That's why for all of these, I started to become successful in learning languages. Why do you want to learn English? Why? What do you want to accomplish? You want to talk to people while you're gaming? Okay. all the boys say yes. The girls are like, or you want to be, I don't know, successful in your career. Or maybe you just want to travel the world. Like, I've traveled the world all by myself. I've been to like 20 countries, but I only speak like 4 languages. But English can get you so far. So many countries you can just speak, like even in China, 2 years I lived there. I spoke way more English than Mandarin Chinese. So it gives you confidence to know that you can communicate with people. find your motivation and then learn through your motivation. If you only care about gaming, games. That's how you're going to learn. But try to put new words in it sometimes and try to look up the words you don't understand, right? And watch some YouTube videos that will really help you, honestly. And if you want to learn English for shopping, then it's a little more tricky when you're not in an English-speaking country, but you can still do it for sure. Work in an industry where there's foreigners around so you can speak English with them sometimes. Get an English teacher and speak to them sometimes. Find your motivation. Start right away. Like I said, in Indonesia, I was here like 4 months before I really started to learn Indonesian because I was alone, because I was scared. I'm a really confident person usually and very independent. I like to do things by myself. But when I can't communicate with people, no confidence. Suddenly I'm shy. Suddenly I don't want to leave the house because I feel like I won't get back safely. So my motivation is to be more independent, and that's why I learn languages. And identify your required vocabulary. So if you want to learn English for gaming, I keep using this example and I don't know anything about it. But you'll learn very fast what are the words you need. Or if you want to learn English for travel, you'll learn very quickly words you need to know, like, excuse me, where is this? How do I say this? Can I have this? I don't understand. Which way is the airport? Right? So identify your required vocabulary. Identify the words you already know. So this is a trick I use all the time with Indonesian. If I don't know the word, I just, so say the word is, I want to say invite. I want to say invited. And say, I don't know the Indonesian word for invited. I'll just go, invitasi. Or say, I want to know the word, let me think, restaurant. And I don't know the word in Indonesian restaurant. I'll be like, restaurant? Restauranti? And just add like an E at the end of every word I don't know. But that works pretty often. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't, and I look like an idiot, but whatever. Like, I don't care if I look stupid as long as I get what I want at the end of the day, right? I don't know the word for t-shirt, and I'll be like, t-shirt? T-shirt? So something like that, you can try. And something I've learned from linguists in my studies is that you should learn in a way that works for you. So if you say, and I have students do this all the time, unrealistic. They'll say, yeah, I want to get better at reading English, so I'm going to read 5 English books this month. And I'm like, do you like reading? And they're like, no, I hate reading. I'm like, okay. So how are you going to accomplish your goal? Yeah, I'm just going to sit down and do it. Oh, okay. Talk to you in 1 month, yeah? 1 month later, hey, how did your goal go? Yeah, I didn't do it. Why not? Yeah, I don't like reading. Okay. But what do you like? So me, I love reading. So a way I've been learning Indonesian is I choose a book I've read in English, and then I buy the book in Indonesian, and I read it in Indonesian, and when I don't understand, I check in English. But if you don't like reading, you have to try something else. I love listening to music. Okay, listen to the song in English. Check the lyrics. What do they mean? Sing the song. You like KTV or sorry, karaoke? You like karaoke? I love karaoke. Sing songs in English, right? It doesn't matter if you sound stupid, it's karaoke, that's the whole point. This is something I need to try, is singing songs in Indonesian, yeah? This is such a good way to learn. If you like it. If you don't like it, you're not going to do it. If you like being on your phone, then something like Rosetta Stone, Duolingo, that's good. If you're really shy, really shy, but you feel more confident online, try to have an English teacher online. Even if you can only pay for one lesson a month, it's more than you're doing right now. If you can do it every week, that will be great. So find what works for you. Don't pretend you're someone you're not. Be yourself and learn that way. But be confident. Fake it until you make it, yeah? Be confident. Like when I speak Indonesian, yeah? So belum tahu banyak bahasa Indonesia, tapi saya masih mau bicara. Dan, okay, ada cerita? Story? Okay. Okay, then I'll tell the story in Bahasa Indonesia to show you how not good my Indonesian is. Okay. So be nice. Tapi kalau saya mau mengobrol bahasa Indonesia, kalian harus pertanyaan pertanyaan question saya in bahasa Inggris, okay? Okay, because I already embarrassed myself. Okay, so saya naik pesawat dari Istanbul ke Jakarta ya minggu lalu, dan saya beside orang Indonesia, orang tua ya, dan dia mau mengobrol bahasa Indonesia karena dia sudah tahu saya bicara karena saya bilang sesuatu mirip. Oh, dingin ya, Pak? Oh, bicara bahasa Indonesia ya? Oke. Okay. Oh, no. Mau tidur ya? Oke, okay, boleh. Dan pasti ya, kalau orang Indonesia bertemu boleh bisa bicara bahasa Indonesia, mereka mau tanya, makanan Indonesia baik ya? Mbak suka apa ya? Oke, ya suka gado-gado, ayam geprek, nasi goreng, Indomie. So basic ya. Dan pasti ya, dia mau tanya, Mbak, sudah coba rendang? Iya, maaf Pak, saya orang vegetarian sedikit ya. Oh ya, tapi suka ayam geprek ya? Iya Pak, karena saya tidak suka ayam. So, kenapa makan kalau tidak suka? No, tidak suka hidup ayam. Kenapa? Ya, karena mereka bodoh ya. Oke. Oke. Tapi sapi pintar? Enggak. Oke, so kenapa tidak mau makan sapi? Ya, karena, and this is where I get confused. If I'm saying in English, I can really tell you. I don't like farms. I think they're dirty. I don't like the style, like the whole process of an animal's life and death and the way they get to the supermarket. I don't like anything. But bahasa Indonesia, karena, how do you say farm? I forget, okay? Karena sapi tidak bisa mandi, tidak bisa bermain, tidak bisa menjadi bahagia. Just makan terus mati ya, saya tidak suka itu. I go, oh okay. Tapi ayam, ya tidak apa-apa ayam, mati aja. Okay, so the way I said it in Indonesian is like so dumb. basically saying, yeah, I don't like that cows can't play or be happy one day. I would never say that in English. But he understood my point and he laughed. And then finally he let me go to sleep. So the point is, I used words I knew, right? Not a lot of words. I keep using the same words over and over again because I know those words. I didn't have Wi-Fi to use Google Translate to look up a word, so I just had to use what I had. He did not speak one single word of English, so I just had to figure it out. I was confident that I could tell him what I thought because I knew just enough words. I mean, thank God we weren't talking about an animal that I don't know the name of it yet, because I only know like 5 animal words. But that's what worked for me. So that's what I did. So the most important thing in learning any language, be confident, believe that you can do it and that people will understand you, but be humble, stay humble. When people don't understand, try again. When you don't understand, tell them you don't understand. And be humble knowing you don't need to become a native English level speaker, because most people in the world who you will communicate with in English are also English second language. So don't worry, no pressure, have fun. And that's all I have to say about that. So does anyone have any questions? Yeah, hello online. Maaf ya, saya lupa. Ada banyak orang online ya. But yes, people online can also ask questions, I think. Yeah, of course. So please, if you have a question about learning a language, if you just have a question about Canada or travel, anything like that, please, I'm happy to answer your questions. Yeah.
English isn't important. And when I start to explain to him that how important English is, he starts very good. Like, what the hell is this? We live in Indonesia, bro. And then I'm like,
Okay, that's so funny. Well, you cannot always change everyone's opinion, of course. But if you, so for example, this, yeah, for me, I mean, I'm native English speaker, and this made me realize how important English is. Because you can give him the example where if he ever wants to leave Indonesia, is he going to learn Vietnamese? Vietnamese is crazy hard. Why not just learn a few words of English? Or if you ever want to talk to someone online, are you going to learn Russian? No, going to speak to them in English. So I have an example. I have one of my students online. He is Russian. He lives in Bali. He's learning English. Huh? He doesn't speak Indonesian. He doesn't even know what pedas means. I'm like, you have to know what pedas means because you're going to get in trouble if you don't know. So you can tell your friend, if you want to live in the world and not just Indonesia, online or offline, you need to learn English. Yeah. Any other questions? And online juga, any questions? No? Come on, I told my story in Indonesian. You can ask a question in English. I broke it. Sorry. So let me ask online and the room a question. Who wants to learn English for travel? You can just raise your hand. Yeah, for travel. Who wants to learn for, yeah? Who wants to learn for online? Just for being able to do things online, yeah? Okay. And who wants to learn just so you know another language? Okay, yeah, interesting. Yeah.
Morning, Mom. My name is Sarah. I'm from Harani. I want to ask something. How to control ourselves to not nervous when we want to start talking with people, especially native, because nervous always makes us forget what we want to say. Did you have a tip for that, Mom? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your question. So how can you control being nervous when you speak, especially with a native speaker? Well, you just have to pretend you're not scared. Everything in my life that I don't feel confident about doing, you just have to do it. And then you start doing it and the confidence will follow. So my advice is the confidence comes second. What comes first is the action. So I recommend just speaking. And then again, this point where you don't have to sound perfect English. So I have an Indonesian boyfriend. His English is pretty good. It's okay lah. He cannot speak in past tense very well. Past tense is difficult, yeah? No one tell him, yeah. But past tense is very difficult. But we are in a relationship almost 2 years in English, and I understand even when he says it totally wrong. It's not about him getting it right, it's about him trying. So just try, who cares if you're wrong? So that's my advice, just do your best, and no native speaker will expect you to speak really good English, but they will expect you not to waste their time. So that's why you can just speak, just try. It's okay if you sound like a baby or you say it wrong. That's no problem. I hope that answered your question. No? Yes, of course. Yeah. Yeah, grammar is tricky, right? Yeah. And really this example of past tense, speaking about things that happened before, I'm teaching English and sometimes I'm like, can I tell you the answer next week? Because I don't know. So yeah, it's tricky. I think the best advice for something like grammar is to use a teacher or something like Duolingo or something like that, because this is kind of a little bit, especially Duolingo, yeah? It's a bit like a game. So you can practice and there's rewards and it's kind of more obvious what you're trying to do. So something like that I think will really work. And there are a lot of articles. If you don't have the money for a teacher or the time for Duolingo, or that's not the way you like to learn, there's a lot of articles online that will explain things. So for me as a teacher teaching grammar, I had a student ask me, like this Russian student in Bali, he doesn't know how to make a sentence in English. Where does the subject go? Where does the noun go? Where does the verb go? And I was like, yeah, I don't know either. So I just search online how to make a sentence in English. And then it will tell you the different parts and you can play with it and practice. So my advice is a teacher or research online or something like Duolingo. Those are the good ways. And really, past tense is so hard. So it's okay if you're getting it wrong. I swear to God, my boyfriend gets it right like 1 out of 20 times. And it's fine, I still understand. So don't worry about it. I think the most important time for your English to be perfect is when you write it. Because for me as a non-native speaker, if say I'm staying at a hotel in Indonesia and they have everything written in English, the mistakes are kind of funny for me sometimes. I'm like, why you call your hotel a hospital? So it's when you write it, that's when you need to check. And actually something like Grammarly or some application like that can really help you. And it's okay to cheat, you know, like you can use help, it's okay. So that's my advice. Yeah. 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 Asking for what? Ukraine people. Sorry? He asked Ukraine people why they don't like peanuts. Oh, like the way he asked it? Yeah. So for like that's kind of, I think what I understand you're asking is why does he ask it the wrong way? Okay, I have a crazy story about peanuts. This is true story, yeah? It's not going to answer your question. So I'm actually, my dad is from UK. He's British. He immigrated to Canada. So I'm like, you can say half British. And when I was a little kid, I only ate peanuts and peanut butter, like on bread. That's it. Peanuts, peanut butter, no vegetables, nothing else. So I was eating peanuts. I was like, I don't know, 3 years old. And I was eating peanuts and my brother made me laugh and I inhaled the peanut, but I'm okay. I didn't choke. But then some time passing and it's getting harder and harder for me to breathe. And I'm only 3 years old. Yeah. Suddenly I can't even walk. So they take me to the doctor. They do some x-ray. There was a peanut in my lung. Yeah, in my lung. I had to have surgery. So maybe British people have some like genetic trauma with the peanut. Yeah. And then in the hospital, I was in the hospital like 1 week and still I would not eat the hospital food. I was like, Mom, I need a peanut butter sandwich. Yeah.
English accent, right? In English, it has many accents.
Mm-hmm.
It's like US and British. It's like US say bottle of water. Many accents that English is hard for me, but why it has many accents?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good point. So I was doing some research yesterday about how many, like, you can say dialects of English there is. Like, so you have Indonesian, yeah? Then Bahasa Jawa, Bahasa Sunda, Bahasa blah, 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 so many. In English, yeah, we have, even in just UK, just only UK, they have like 20 different accents. So my family is British, and I will, yeah, so I'm native English. I go visit my family. They are from South London. This area of London has something called Cockney accent. Yeah, so in English, I just take my mask so you can see for a second, yeah? So if I want to say, I'm going out for a curry, yeah, curry food, Cockney will say, oh yeah, gonna go get some Ruby Murray. Yeah, Cockney is like rhyming slang. So they're speaking English, but I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't understand a word you're saying. And this is my point, where it's like, what does it mean to be a native speaker? Because if I can't understand another native speaker, how can you? Right? And that's and Jamaican has something called patois. Patois is English dialect. They don't pronounce the T. So if you want to say, oh, I'll get in trouble if I do patois accent, so maybe I shouldn't. But if you want to say something like here, oh, yeah, I don't want to do the accent, I'll get in trouble. But they don't say their H's, but it's still English. So that's why my point is, just learn the English that works for you. You don't need to sound like, I always find it so interesting when people just want Canadian teacher. I want to learn a Canadian accent. Why? Do you understand the Canadian accent better than the Australian accent? Okay, go ahead. But just so you know, there are like 20 different accents in Canada, because in Canada, we have the East Coast, and the East Coast, how do they talk? Yeah, they talk a little bit like, almost like Scottish. Yeah. Yeah, so it's a little bit different. So don't worry about all the accents, just learn what works for you. And again, if you don't understand, tell someone you don't understand. I have to do that. Yeah. 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 And this is what's hard for me living in Indonesia. So someone will learn I speak Indonesian. Oh, bicara bahasa Indonesia ya, bagus. Bicara bahasa Jawa, bicara bahasa Sunda. I'm like, I learned an entire language, and it's not enough. But then I really want to learn it, because the cool thing about Indonesia is I can hang out with my friends and there will be 3 different languages spoken. But in Canada, we have so many languages, but we don't mix. We're not speaking each other's languages, even English and French. Really, you just know one or the other. Most people, you don't know both. So I think that's one of my favorite things about the language in Indonesia, is how it all comes together. I think that's so cool. But sucks, I don't understand anything. And are there any questions online? Nobody. Yeah, please.
Cara bentar. Oh, mah di telepon aku jeneng dalam telepon.
How to make your ideas short and to the point. Okay. Maybe this is something I do also in English. I write what I want to say, and then I delete like half of it. So the point is, maybe you already wrote your speech, right? Read it, and any word you don't need, or sometimes it's so common to say the same thing twice, right? So maybe you have some sentences where when you're writing it, you think, oh, this can make the point, but I should say this because it supports the point. So read it again. If you made the point, you don't need to say it again. So read through your information and check to see if you say the same thing in different ways, and then choose the way that sounds best. And hopefully that can work. And you don't need to make it too fancy, yeah? Better good than fancy. So if you have some words that are fancy and they're hard for you to say, just delete them. Who cares? The words don't have feelings. Well, maybe they do, I don't know. I hope that helps you. Good luck on your speech.
One more?
Yeah. Yeah, so annoying, right? Yeah. I had the same problem using Duolingo with Indonesian. I was like, stop giving me notifications. You know what I did? I turned the notifications off. Yeah, and still annoying you? So if it's annoying you, just don't use it. This is my classic rule. Same with like social media, yeah? If they're annoying, bye. Bye, I don't need you. And then find what's exciting for you. It can change all the time. So right now, what excites you about learning English? Is it speaking? Is it listening? What is it? Listening. So listen to music and look up the lyrics for some interesting songs. So like just example, yeah, that song Adele, Easy on Me, it's so popular right now, right? I heard it at the restaurant last night. Listen to the song, watch the YouTube lyric video. There's like always a lyric video, right? Read the lyrics. What words don't you understand? Look them up. Use them in a sentence. Even alone in your room and you feel dumb, make a little sentence, say it out loud, because that's when you get the muscle practicing, right? And also podcasts can be very good. Podcasts, yeah, for listening if that's what you're interested in. So just, if you don't like it, bye, try something new. Because like I said before, right, it's like up and down journey. It will never be just one thing is working. So whatever works for you, do it until you don't like it anymore. That's the secret to life, I think. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
From Swato country. Morning, I want to ask something. You mentioned earlier we can get motivation to start learning English. And what kind of motivation to learn English can last for a long time? Because for me, motivation only lasts for a moment. Thank you.
Yeah, that's kind of the same point, is your motivation can change. That's totally fine. So when I was in France, so when I was in high school, my motivation to learn French was I always wanted to get the best mark in the class. I'm very competitive. Then when I lived in France, my motivation to speak French was so I could order food and drinks at restaurants. And now my motivation to learn French is because I forget the language and I want to be able to speak a language that I spent so many years learning. So if your motivation changes, totally fine. Like I said before, learning a language needs to be fun for you. So when it's not fun, when it's annoying, you don't have inspiration. So Kayla, just relax, find your new inspiration, your new motivation. Like keep your mind open for change. Change is a good thing. So I hope that answers your question and I hope you find new motivation.
From Rara, excuse me, ma'am, I want to ask again. Can you explain to us about what is TOEFL, GETUP, and other? Thank you.
What is
TOEFL,
TOEFL
IELTS?
and IELTS?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, of course. So TOEFL is teaching English as a foreign language. So and TESOL is teaching English as a second language. So honestly, I'm not exactly sure what the difference is. And IELTS is the international examination of language. Yeah. So that one is like the standardized test usually for getting into the international university. So the IELTS test, you can do preparation for that one. And the thing is if your goal is to do the IELTS test, usually it should be because you want to go to school abroad. If you don't want to go to school abroad, I don't know how important it is to study for IELTS. But if you do want to go to school abroad, that's when learning a language is maybe not as much about fun as it is about learning the perfect grammar. And then TESOL and TOEFL is just kind of the standard for a teacher. It's like accreditation that a teacher must get to be able to teach a language. So it means that they understand the rules of their own language. So those are the different things. And if you're looking for an English teacher, it helps if they have TEFL, but I think honestly, the most important thing is, do you have a good relationship with that person? Do you trust them to tell you if they don't know the answer? Because I don't like it when teachers act like they know the answer, but they don't. That's just me, yeah? So I hope that answers your question and I hope you find what you're looking for. Thank you. So any other questions? Maybe already bored of me, that's okay. No? Well, thank you all so much for your time. If you have no questions, I just want to thank you all so much for coming and listening. And for those of you who have questions, thank you so much. And I hope all of you feel inspired to learn some more English and be more adventurous with languages. It's definitely one of the best things you can do is learn another language. So thank you all so much for all your time. Thank you. Yeah, of course.
So I hope after this you are not afraid talking to native speakers. Bule. Right? So yeah, so be confident like what you say, to say what you need to say. Okay, so yeah, they will not think that you are like stupid talking English like by making many mistakes, because they know that we are not native speakers, right? So it's common to make mistake when we are talking other people language. Right? So yeah, once again, thank you so much, Christy,
Thank you so much.
for helping us with the class. And thank you so much everyone for joining the class. So before you go home, can we take a picture together with Christy?
Yay.
Yeah, please finish your meal first.
This one?
The background.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And by the way, all of you who asked me questions, all your English was very good. So. Yeah, amazing British accent, amazing. Ah, okay, nice. Wow, nice. Oh my God. It's too big. It's too much of my face, I think.
Untuk Bapak
Where in the front? I'm too tall.
You are tall, but she is taller than you.
Should I take my heels off?
Almost time and then after that, freeze time. One, two, three. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I can breathe.
One, two, three. Okay. One and two and three. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. You want to take one? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much. Oh yeah. Thank you.
Di section dulu.
Yeah. Jadi
Bro, makasih ya bro. Ya. Kalau mau tulis sana ada. Karena dia kita ke kami ya. Oh, lanjut. Nanti coba ya. Apa? Kan nggak ada sistemnya. Sebenarnya bisa satu pakai mungkin cara sederhananya harus sih jadi harus ada kayaknya bisa kalau punya suara jadi setiap pasien yang pakai headset kalau pakai headsetnya nggak ada sistemnya yang penting sistem bisa kalau yang ini kan mungkin misalnya saya pakai webcam satu terus jalan kan tetap harus pakai pengumuman nanti mungkin bisa lewat zoomnya kan sekarang ada zoom yang versinya dia bisa langsung ke YouTube atau ke mana nanti mungkin pakai kami di alat ini kalau enggak mungkin bisa disusulin buat ada buat pelatihan juga jadi nanti nanti kita bantu kasihan juga iya kayak pagi game mata kuliahnya bukan cuman memang mencoba buat lebih banyak berinteraksi dengan yang tidak ada di offline. Kenapa sih enggak? Hybrid. Karena kalau metodenya cuma saya di laptop, saya nggak duduk. Makanya rata-rata jadi lebih ke fokus di yang mahasiswa juga fokus di laptop. Jadi saya nggak bisa mana. Tapi saya jelasin juga gitu. Kalau interaksi bisa. Boleh. Sebentar ini bahkan APK juga.
Gimana balik?